Welcome to CFMOTO Side Rider. Today's video, I'm just going to go out for a ride. My wife and I are going to take the trails out for a nice cruise. We don't know what to expect, if there's going to be a lot of puddles or how rough it's going to be and muddy, but it hasn't rained for about 4 days, so hopefully it's dried up a bit. But we're going to go check out a trail that I haven't been on in years, and we're going to bring you along with us. And in case you don't know, we live in Ontario, Canada, and we have a pretty cool trail system here. But it's also a snowmobile trail during the winter, so we want to get on the trails before. We're still allowed on them, but they prefer we didn't use them. But it's nice to get out on them before the snow comes, and also before the weather gets much colder. Today we'll be dressed up pretty warm with our snowmobile suits on and goggles, the whole bit, and we'll try to stay warm. But come along with us and we'll show you some of our trails. I know it's overkill for this clothing, but it'll be warm on the trail. Okay, now we're heading down south towards Springbrook, coming across a bridge here with a creek that runs through it. It's pretty scenic. Not as scenic as it would have been a few weeks ago when the leaves were in color change, but winter's right around the corner, so but at least we're lucky to be out on November 6th and we're still out riding. But the trail coming east before we hit this trail was pretty rough. A lot of holes, whip-de-doos and ruts and stuff, but that's all part of it. But this is a lot smoother. These are old railroad tracks. So here we're just going to cross a country road, and I think there's another road we have to cross before we get to our destination, where we're in Springbrook. And what we're going to do is we're going to hit a diner. That was our plan, to go there and have a cup of coffee and a piece of coconut cream pie on this trip, but we'll see what happens. I'm starting to get a little bit hungry. See here we got some holes and some water. We had a lot of that on the trail going east, but more rough whippy-doos. And back, I didn't catch it, but there was a stop sign we just passed. My wife saw a coyote or a wolf, she wasn't sure, but it was right to the left. I'm just cutting out bits of the trail where it's boring and getting some nice scenic shots here, going through the different spruce trees or pine trees, wherever they are. I can't remember right now. So we're on a trail that's heading into Springbrook, and it's going south from Highway 7. Beth and I made it to Springbrook. We came in for a piece of coconut cream pie, but we actually ended up eating lunch and then having coconut cream pie. Now we're so stuffed we can hardly wait to get on those bumps and the trails and jiggle us all up and be very uncomfortable. Nice little town with one diner. There's not even a store here. So if you're ever in Springbrook, be sure to drop in here. It's good food and decent prices and good country kitchen. Okay, now we're going to take the Z-Force back out on the trails, and we're going to go to another place, and we'll try to get some video out on the trails. Well, you can tell I'm out with my wife, because now we're at the Cooney Family Farms Fruit and Vegetables. We call it the Apple Store. I think that's what it is actually too, though. But it's got all good old country stuff, and we're going to pick up some apple cider. We're just out on the trail coming in here, and I think there was a Can-Am with 2 CFMOTO ATVs and 1 Z-Force 800, just like this one. It was kind of cool to see them out in the trail. Here we are at a junction on the trails. You can go north, you can go east, and then that trail there goes to the right, and go south. And then behind us, of course, is west. But you can see the weather is just amazing out here. As you can see, they even got a pooper out here on the trail. Well, we got a little dirty today, not too bad, but there isn't much water out on the trails, which is good. But we're on our way back home. We're almost there, and probably be another 10 minutes, I guess, 15 minutes. What do you say, Beth? Ready for poop? I just said that to crack her up. I knew she'd get a good chuckle out of that because it shocked her, kind of surprised her. Anyways, here we are at a couple iron bridges, and we're going over the Crow River. It's a nice scenic spot. I've been here several times and take pictures here and swim here. A lot of people come here and hang out. It's a nice spot. But it's a conservation area, and they're trying to keep people out of it down near the water. This is the second bridge. Got that sun glaring at us from the west. And I see a couple ATVs down there by the river. Maybe we'll go down there and check out the water as well. This is a nice scenic spot. Riding on the left side here, avoid the bumps. We'll probably end up hitting a few water puddles down here. It's always wet down here. Right up here where Beth says to me, she screamed at me, she says, "Don't tip us." I'm like, "Are you serious? We're not gonna tip. It's not that bad of an angle." A lot of rocks in this area, just tons of rock. It's crazy. Actually, east of here, there's another trail I hit for the first time the other day, and I could not believe the amount of rocks. These puddles here aren't too deep. There's a deep one coming, but yeah, this one here is deep, but not that bad that it doesn't come over the sides and onto the floor or anything. But I think if you went through here at a good clip, you would get pretty wet. I'm not ready to get wet when it's just only plus 10 degrees Celsius outside. Yeah, it's good and wet down here, even though it hasn't rained for probably 4 or 5 days. So here we are, coming up to the Crow River. It's just a really nice spot. Check it out. This is such a beautiful spot in the summer and the fall. But now, you know, there's a lot of the leaves are down now. But I'll come back here and shoot some video in the summer. You'll just love it. Right here we can swim too. You can go right up under the iron bridge there. That's about the deepest spot. Well, we'll back up here and we'll go past these couple ATVs, and we'll get really close to the river. Show you how beautiful it is. See how wet it is up here? The water is really high right now, and it was higher before. There's even fish in here. Like, you know, I've seen people fishing in here. I've seen fish in here while I'm swimming. Nice smallmouth bass, largemouth bass. The two ATVs are leaving. Those were a couple women. And you know what? You're going to see when we come up further here. I'm trying to catch up. Well, not trying really hard to catch up with them, but I wanted to keep them in the shot because it makes it kind of more interesting, right? But they were on it, and when we got further up ahead, you won't see it, but we're on the road heading up to the highway. I was doing 88 or 89 kilometers per hour, which is pretty good clip. And well, I know that the CFMOTO ZFORCE, I'm hearing that on original tires, your speedometer is reading about 5 miles per hour quicker. So this would be about 8 kilometers. So maybe I was doing only 79, 80 kilometers per hour, but those two women were just on it. They had them going. I never did catch up to them. I could have probably, but my wife was with me, and I'm still breaking my machine in. I didn't want to get on it too hard. But I'm going to skip some of the trail here, and then we're going to show you a bit of Crow Lake. That's coming up real soon. There's the lake you can see behind the cottages and the homes. We're going to get through this trail here and we'll get a little bit closer to the lake. I was putting her down low gear here to get through all this, just because we're running slow and it's rough a bit. That's a pretty deep puddle there. Here we go, the beautiful Crow Lake. Just a beautiful spot. Well, that was just a taste of the trails around our place. You know, we had a good time out today. Put a few kilometers on the Z-Force and had some fun. Got it pretty dirty. Had some lunch. Hit the Apple store. It was a good time out together. So now we're looking at about 325 kilometers on that Z-Force. That's about 275 miles. So we're due for an oil change. I like to put a new air filter on it, hit all the grease fittings, and get it ready for the next journey. Hope you guys enjoyed riding along with us, and we'll see you on the next one.